You know, coming into this past season, well, the season that we're wrapping up with the Stanley Cup Finals going on starting tonight, there was a divide. There were people who believed that Florida had exactly the right idea with the way they went after winning the division last year. And there were some, me included, who felt that uprooting your defense and changing your team over an idea of how to run it was risky. My contention was it could take a while for this defense to gel. Could take a while for the new additions to make their presence felt. And that it's risky when you win a division to change your entire makeup of your team. And it seemed like Florida did that. And they struggled, and they had a couple of decent little pushes during the season. But in the end, they fell short. Oh, I'm aware I've got the old logo on the jersey. I bought this not that long ago when I was presented with the opportunity to buy either the brand new one or a discounted version of the old one. I'm like, you know what? I'm going with the old one. Same with the hat. Could have got a new hat. I'm like, I like the old one. I like the old logo better. I know the new one is easier to draw. That's the number one compliment I've seen with the new logo is, well, it's easier to draw. The old one is very hard to draw. It's very hard for a kid to draw that. All right, but still, the new one looks very government-y, for lack of a better term. So, at any rate, Florida, in my eyes, are still in trouble. I don't want to start the argument again. Huberdeau. Barkov. Great. Trocheck. Decent value. Bjugstad. I don't know. I don't know what Bjugstad is at this point. I don't know if he's going to be a 15-goal, ideally suited for the third-line guy, or if he's going to be a really good scorer and worthy of a top two-line role. I don't know. Jokinen, one more year at $4 million. That's fine. He's overpaid for what he is now, but it's not the end of the world. Further down the line, you have McKenzie. You have Sevier. I love Colton Sevier. I have no problem with Colton Sevier. Marchessault, who is bargain of the year again next year. It's $750,000 for what he did. Without Marchessault, Florida would have been one of the bottom 4 teams in the league. No word of a lie. And Malgin is still there too. Scarbosa is a restricted free agent. And then UFA, you got Yager. Odds are if Yager's going to play another year in the NHL, he's going to play in Florida. I don't know how much he's going to get paid. They have $12.3 million in cap space. Again, this is the $73 million cap. There's been no verification at this point that the cap is going up. There's been rumors of 75 or 76 million, but until that happens, I, along with Cap Friendly, still working with the $73 million cap. There's the unknown. Jared McCann took a step backwards this year. I really thought McCann was an NHL player. Apparently, I was wrong. We'll see if it was the sophomore slump, or sophomore jinx, which I made a video about a couple months ago. At least it may have been longer actually. With me realizing that the sophomore jinx is very rare. Usually, if a guy goes through a bad sophomore season, he doesn't really come back and reach the heights he was at as a rookie. Usually, it's a market correction. So up front, I mean, they could bring back Vanek, I guess, but it's not a great group. It's okay. It's average. It's good. It's not great. The Panthers aren't going to wow people. Huberdeau has to show he can be healthy over a full season. That's step one. And you know, it's through no fault of his own, obviously. But he has to show that he can remain healthy. On the blue line, they've got Ekblad, Yandel, Demers, Matheson. That's a hell of a top four. And then you got Petrovic and Pissick, who are both restricted free agents. Ian McCoshen is a defenseman in the minors who may factor in next year. But again, it's McCoshen. I want to say McCoshen. McCoshen is not, you know, anybody I've heard is blue chip necessarily. It's tricky because with Florida, it just feels like they've been busy moving out people and moving people around, and I don't know if they left themselves with bare cupboards in terms of prospects. And in net, they've got Luongo and Reimer for another year. Technically, Reimer's locked down for 4 years at $3.4 million. Luongo has 5 more years left at $4.5 million. This could be their duo into Luongo's 40s. I expect a 50-35 split in games played between Luongo and Reimer this coming season, and I got a funny feeling Reimer's going to get the 50. I think Reimer's the better goaltender right now between the two of them. And again, and it's through no fault of Luongo's. He's 38. Reimer's 29. You would expect the goaltender's 29 to probably be a little better than the one who's 38. I'm hedging only because I respect Luongo and everything that he's done, and he is still capable of putting a team on his back for a month at a time. But his age is becoming a factor. Absolutely. So, what do they need to do? They got to add depth on the blue line. That's step one. Step two, they got to figure out if they're going to bring back Jágr, they're going to keep Jokinen, if they're going to consider bringing back Vanek, if they're going to go that route, or if they're going to acquire younger guys. They're drafting 10th overall. So whoever they draft at 10th, if they don't move up or they don't move that out for something else, odds are the number 10 pick doesn't play this coming season. So with $12.3 million in cap space, or potentially $15.3 if the cap goes up to $76 million, they'll be able to add a couple of good players, depending on who they find. And again, if they re-sign Jágr, they re-sign Vanek, that money's going to go away. I don't think Jágr's going to command a lot of money. At this point in time, I think Jágr's main goal is getting back to the winner's circle. Being on a team that can win a championship. And I think Jágr believes in Florida. I think Florida rejuvenated him the same as he did for Florida. So I think he'll give them another shot if they're willing to give him another shot. And I think he'll give him a deal. But there's a lot of stuff in Florida to look at and say, well, maybe. Well, I don't know. Well, if this falls into place. Well, as long as these guys stay healthy. Well, maybe if this guy bounces back. There's a lot of those stories in Florida right now. So let me know what you think about Florida's story. Who do you think can turn this team around? Is it as simple as changing the coach and the GM? Is it something that simple? Is the team going to go back into the advanced stats and keep using that? Or are they going to put together a more traditional team coming into this season? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And I'll talk to y'all again real soon. Thanks for watching.